Good morning and welcome to the AM News here on the AM Show. Our very first story this morning, the Coalition of Civil Society Organizations for Local Government Reforms in Ghana is asking government to abandon the idea of superintending the election of metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives on partisan lines. The group, which has renewed the push for the election of MMDCEs, argue that the current administrative structure as a local assembly is fraught with significant challenges, which is impacting negatively on the developmental growth at the local level. Insisting the election of the CEOs for the assembly would largely address the challenges. President Akufo-Addo in 2019 truncated the process for the election of local authorities, citing a lack of consensus. But a member of the CSO coalition, Kofi Bento, addressing the media, observed that government must first prioritize the election of MMDCEs before introducing their election on partisan lines.
All right, so let us get this clear. There is overwhelming support for this. At the point where we were going to effect those things, the current government introduced a second phase. That phase is not necessary for the local government reforms. It is additional. And that second phase is to have it done on a partisan basis. So let me explain. We can today ask our parliamentarians to amend the constitution and we will elect DCEs from tomorrow. That is what the overwhelming number of Ghanaians want. Both NDC and MPP want. We have not heard any dissent to that, and that can be done. At a point where we're going to do it, a tertiary level, a different phase, another, ultimate goal was added to it, which is to say, let's do it on a partisan basis. Why I'm stressing this point is this. It is not necessary to have partisan elections for us to have local government elections. So it is not exactly accurate to say there was a breakdown in consensus. The breakdown was that it was not necessary. Let us not complicate it. Now, sometimes we elevate a footnote and make it the keynote. That small footnote of whether to make it partisan or not, became the keynote. And on that basis, the whole thing was scuttled. We are back here today to emphasize the substantive point, which we all agree on. And that is that we must have local government reforms to the effect of electing local government officials, DCEs, MCEs, and the like. And that much as we will desire, or some of us will desire, that it be done on a partisan basis, we think that we should first have the elections done, have people into office chosen by the people, and then later on, if we want to, we can add the icing on the cake, which is to make it partisan or not.
Now, following the overflow of a water body that produced a massive gully in the middle of the connection road, their town was shut off for months. Residents of Adanwomase in Ashanti's Kwabre East District, particularly final year JHS students, were transported across a stream in the bucket of a bulldozer in a viral video. Love FM's Erastus Asare Donko engaged leaders in the Kente weaving town on attempts to find a temporary solution to the problem, and now reports.
Is where you see in a video that has gone viral, where you see a bulldozer ferrying people in its bucket from one point to the other. The town here is called Adanwomase, and just ahead of me is Bonyure, the Kente weaving town, and the rest of Ejoso and its environs. The stream you see here is called Momoshe, and this is the point dividing the two towns and the rest of Ashanti region. Now, the problem is that there is no bridge over the stream Momoshe at the moment. And so when it rains, the stream overflows its banks, and gradually it created a huge gully here where you saw the bulldozer ferrying people across. And so the entire town of Adanwomase was cut off just about 3 days ago. The people came together because help was not coming from the local assembly and the central government. They decided to solve their own problem temporarily. They were levied from 500 Ghana cedis down to 50 Ghana cedis. And now they've been able to solve it temporarily, fill up the area, and they were able to put in a small pipe to soak the water from one end to the other end. Let me take you through what has been done to serve as a bridge. This small running pipe is now serving as a bridge, transporting the people from one side of Adangomase towards town. Now, this is the temporary solution, one that the community itself have contributed funds to build.
Our car always gets stuck here. So the chief of the community suggested that we contributed to fix it. Even the round pipe we used is too small. We asked for the biggest one, and they said it's 25,000. So we couldn't afford it.
The leveling of the gully and insertion of a small running pipe to serve as a bridge cost residents 15,200 cedis. Eric Boachi Yadom is the assembly member for the Adangomase electoral area.
We didn't really bill people, but the chief and the people of the community helped. The cash at hand was 7,000. But we spent 15,200 after completion.
So about 7,000. 15,200.
Adangomase, close to Bonyure, relies on local tourism and the sale of hand-woven kente for revenue. The bad roads leading in and out of here is a disincentive.
If the bridge is not fixed, we will still get back to zero. I plead with the government to come to our aid.
DC for Kwabri East, Osei Esibe Bunsu, says contract has been awarded for the construction of the road, but could not tell when work will begin. It calls for a bigger solution from central government. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Adangomase, Ashanti region.
Now, some households in the Obuasi municipality of the Ashanti region are converting their toilet facilities into bedrooms for rent. This has gotten the Municipal Assembly to activate a bylaw which stipulates a fine of 1,200 cedis or a 6-month jail term for people caught engaging in this illegal act. There's more in this report.
The Obuasi Municipal Chief Executive, Elijah Adanse Bona, is worried the action of the people is not helping in fighting the sanitation problem. About 14,000 people in the Obuasi municipality are caught engaging in open defecation. In commemoration of World Toilet Day, the municipality organized a Durbar to create awareness and also to address the sanitation crisis in the Obuasi municipality. Speaking at the event, Mr. Adanse Bona expressed optimism the Obuasi area will be free from open defecation.
We decided to come to the central market, interact with our people, educate them. Those who don't have toilets in their houses would do it after maybe this event. So it is significant. We want Obuasi to be one of the open defecation free municipalities in Ghana. When my coordinating director was talking, he mentioned that we've begun construction of concrete drains. Now people have started squatting on the drains, easing into the drains, and that is very bad. Those who don't have toilets in their houses, that is where the challenge is. That is why we need to sit down with them, with engineers, if they can create something within the house for them. They think there's no space, but for space, if you want it, you can create it.
The theme for this year's celebration is Stop Open Defecation, Own a Household Latrine Now. Let's play our part in this COVID-19 era. The Municipal Environmental Officer, Mrs. Moro Fusena, said the percentage of people owning a latrine in the municipality will increase next year.
From January going, we will be going around. When we come and you convert your bath or toilet into a sleeping room, we will take you to court. Every house is supposed to have a toilet. Now, we are not even saying like a compound house with 10 rooms shouldn't have one toilet. I can assure you that next year, if we are alive, and before we come back for World Toilet Day, you will see the numbers increasing, because that next year, that will be my target. If I don't send at all, I will send over 3,000 people to court because they have no toilet in their houses.
So far, about 25 people who do not have toilets in their houses have been dragged to court. Bilkis Mohammed's report read to you.
Now, the owners of an apartment serving as the Ashanti Regional Office of the New Patriotic Party at Krofom in Kumasi are up against party leaders for failing to address rent issues. The landlady, together with her children and other relatives, on Monday stormed the regional office to disrupt an ongoing press conference on the same issue. Regional Communications Director Kwesi Chase says lawyers of both parties will soon address the rent impasse. Prince Appiah reports.
Last Friday, the aggrieved family disrupted a TESCON meeting at the party office, claiming the NPP defaulted payment of 3 years' rent. The TESCON members left the office following the bizarre scene created by the family. The family returned on Monday when some NPP members were addressing the press on the same issue. Some aggrieved family members spoke to the media.
Chairman Wontumi said on radio that we begged him to give our mother a place to stay. This facility belongs to us. We do not have any idea about the terms of agreement. Here's the will. Read it. We were already told that monies had been paid to a relative of ours. If someone breaches an agreement, we have every right to take back our building. This premises is unkempt. The building is not properly maintained. We are taking back our building.
Simple as that.
Meanwhile, NPP Regional Director of Communications, Kwesi Chase, says lawyers of both parties will meet to address the issues amicably.
Oh, lawyer now wujina woman name and lawyer wujina yensu ya name.
The lawyers who stood in both parties' defense will surely come out with their statement.
Statement. Na etimia kati bibia short. I think that is how it's going to be. In Yanse Omubekasa Wabontene.
Prince Appiah reporting.
And that's it for the news for this morning. But the AM show continues, and coming up next is the newspaper review with Israel Laye and myself. Don't go anywhere.